So, you wake up, it's a brand new day, you have a great mindset. Today, you're going to hop onto Halo and you're going to grind that battle pass until you reach the final level and earn all the rewards. After a few games of win here, lost there, you go into straight 7 losses and your motivation diminishes and you decide to call it a day and hop offline. Several days or even weeks later, when you've played other games, watched some movies, watched your favourite content creators on YouTube such as Nadestraight, whatever passes the time for you, you decide to boot up Halo once again and dive into some matchmaking. Suddenly things are off to a great start. You're up 10 kills as a team, and individually you've got 5 kills and 0 deaths. You're carrying, and it just keeps going and going and going, until by the end of the match you've finished with a 4 KD and you've completely swept the enemy team. But why does this happen? See, I always thought that taking a break from something and coming back to it later did help you approach it with a fresh perspective, especially when it comes to creative work such as design, which is what I do for my day job. It's good to take a break and come back to it at a later date, maybe do a different task. This is called creative block, and lots of people encounter this problem. But does it apply to gaming too? In a competitive environment against other players in real time, or is secretly the skill-based matchmaking just throwing you a bone and giving you an easy game to get you back into the swing of things? You know, after your less than successful attempt a few days or weeks before. Because of the gaming landscape today, and with skill-based matchmaking being such a largely talked about thing, I would assume it is, you know, that algorithm, that system behind the game telling you you need an easy game, you've lost a few in a row, we need to get you back to that roughly 50% win-loss. But then I think back to all the years I played games such as Halo Reach and Halo 3, maybe even other games in the past as well, like Call of Duties or Battlefields or whatever it may have been. And I think the same thing used to happen then. I remember being younger, I remember being 10 years younger and doing terrible one day and deciding, guys, I'm getting offline, I'm going to come back to this tomorrow. And my first game back, I would just absolutely destroy people. So maybe the answer is, maybe it's both. I mean, maybe sometimes it's the skill-based matchmaking helping you out, and maybe sometimes taking a break genuinely does just help. I don't know. All I do know is that sometimes I load up a game, especially Halo, and I feel like I can suddenly compete for the next Halo World Championship title. Other times, it feels like the only thing I'd be competing for is a record for most consecutive losses in a single day. The reason I'm making this video is because it's something that just happened to me, and it made me think, is this something that other people encounter as well, or am I an anomaly here and this only happens to me? I'm sure it's not just me, I'm sure other people have this feeling as well. From my point of view, I didn't take a break from Halo because I felt like I was doing bad. I actually took a break because I felt like I was playing too much of it and tried to play some other games. So recently I've been playing Star Wars Public Commando, which is my first sort of dive into any Star Wars game really. I played the Lego ones when I was a lot younger, but that's all. So that's my first dive in. It's been a refreshing experience. I'm about 5 hours into the game. And then I also started playing Sonic Frontiers, and I'm about 6 hours into that. And the progress I made on those two games over the course of a few days, obviously then came back to Halo just to see what was going on. And suddenly I start destroying and, you know, frying people like I'm playing for Optic Gaming. I even noticed I start doing things that I wouldn't usually do, like playing the game slower and sticking with teammates, or checking what position people are in, looking at the markers above their heads to see if there's the exclamation point, which means that they're in combat, and things like that, and adjusting my position based on that information, trying to keep things like a high ground and constantly look below. No, that's not a Star Wars reference, but now after watching the movies for the first time, every time someone mentions the high ground, that's all I can think of. So, yeah. I just thought I would make this video because, as I said, it was something that was on my mind at the time. I can make a quick video about this, and if it does well, maybe, you know, some of you guys can tell me in the comments if you experience something similar, and I can get kind of a good range of feedback based on this experience. that I've just had. Other than this, I don't really have much else to say. Season 6 comes out in 28 days, I think, which will be good. I might be wrong on that, but you know, something around that time. Because I feel like Halo Infinite is in need of a new content update. Firefight is and was fun, but it's slowly getting a little bit less entertaining, especially with how easy it is. So, you know, some new things wouldn't go amiss. It would be nice to get some extra content drops in the game. And that's really it for Halo. There's not much else going on. I was going to make a separate video about just how Halo Infinite, to me, is still kind of boring and in some weird way still feels empty, even though it's more complete than it ever has been before. But I could probably do a whole video on that. But in short, that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing, is because although there is all these different game types and playlists and things, it still feels like I've just been playing the same thing over and over. I've got to the point now where, you know, a change of game mode, such as using sniper rifles instead of carbines or whatever, doesn't feel like that much of a change that it really captures me anymore. You know, playing Fiesta with random weapons, then playing snipers, then playing team doubles, then playing a ranked playlist, and then playing big team. They're all kind of the same thing with tiny variables, and it's not enough to capture me as much as it used to do in previous Halo games. I could do an entire video on that, and I wonder if I'm, you know, in the same boat as some other people, or if that's just unique to me. I guess if anyone's still watching at this point, you could tell me in the comments section if you feel the same regarding that topic. So yeah, that's it. I'm not going to ramble any further. Just before this video ends, as I mentioned in a lot of my videos, I have a video game called CrossPlanet, which is a third-person shooter very much inspired by games like Halo, along with Star Wars and Doom, Quake, Unreal Tournament, stuff like that. Mentioned it many times. We're doing another playtest probably in February for the game on Steam. There's no official date yet, but you can go over to Steam and request access if you think you might want to. So if the gameplay clips that I'm showing on screen look like something that would be interesting to you and you want to try out the game, give us feedback, suggestions, find bugs, break the game, then just go over to Steam, type in CrossPlanet, and request access to the playtest, and I'll see you there. It should be good. The last one was, we gained lots of insightful information. I'm back to making some maps and fixing some errors with the current ones, and then other people that work on the game are making some models, some new effects, and fixing some bugs. So it should be fun to try all the new stuff out when the time comes. Alright, thanks for watching this video, and see you.